You guys are in for an absolute treat because you are about to watch an interview that I did with Charzreviews, the first person to ever make £1 million in sales when promoting products with TikTok Shop for Affiliate. This interview was absolutely jam-packed full of value from Char's, just like all my other interviews are. We learned about her strategy to getting to that 1 million mark in November. We learned about her background, how she got started, her top tricks and tips to maximizing views and conversions, and her view on the recent changes with the TikTok Shop algorithm. So I'm not going to bleat on anymore. I'm going to let you get straight into it. If you do enjoy this interview and you want to learn more about TikTok Shop for Affiliate, don't forget to check the Honest Creators link below. We are a coaching community and now a TikTok Shop partner that can really help supercharge your progress and ensuring that you earn some top commissions. So watch this interview, take notes, and then hopefully I'll see you in the Honest Creators community soon. Let me just quickly do an introduction to Char's for those of you that maybe don't know what an absolute fantastic achievement she's made with TikTok Shop Affiliate. So Char's is from the UK, I believe. I'm hoping I'm not wrong. It's Norwich area, Norfolk, so around there. She initially started TikTok Shop for Affiliate, or TikTok Shop anyway, back in June 2022, and started with no prior experience. And she began that journey because she was at risk of being made redundant. But as it turns out, she had the last laugh. She started TikTok Shop for Affiliate, quickly realized that she had a real skill and was something that she really enjoyed. And she was the one that was able to actually leave her job. So one of the things that makes Char's super special, in addition to the huge amount of consistency that she's demonstrated over the past number of years, and just like an amazing amount of persistence. If you actually look on her channel, you'll see how many videos that she's uploaded, is the fact that she was the very first creator to generate £1 million in gross merchandise value in 1 month, which is absolutely bonkers. So for those of you that might be new to this community, that or you haven't gone through the course materials yet, if you don't know what GMV is, it's like the revenue. So she, thanks to her videos and her lives, she helped multiple brands in 1 month generate £1 million in sales, which is nuts when you think about it. Just to kind of put it into perspective, I've been an Amazon seller for like 6-7 years, and the best month I've ever had selling my own products going full throttle was around £200,000. So Char's just done that 5 times over. With her TikTok account, she does a variety of products, doesn't just stick to one single type of niche, does a bit of everything. And she uploads videos using predominantly the ad style, which we're going to talk about, and lives. And here you can see she is holding her very heavy, I understand, a 1 million award. And what I found really funny this morning, she posted like a story to show this. And just remember, I said that Char posts and reviews all different types of products. It's not just one. But Yahoo News decided to run with how reviewing toilet rolls on TikTok has changed her life. So just kind of ignored absolutely every other achievement that she'd made and just decided to focus on toilet rolls, which I thought was quite funny. So with all that being said, I would now like to welcome Char's to the stage. Welcome.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me as well. Appreciate that. And thank you for the lovely introduction.
Not at all. It's an absolute honor. So before I kind of dive into how things fell, and going through the entire journey, be honest, how does it feel to be known as the queen of toilet rolls, the toilet roll reviewer?
Oh dear.
When did you see that?
A statue of toilet rolls made in my honor. That would be amazing. Yeah, I don't really care. If that's what people want to know me for, the toilet roll girl, I don't really mind. Whatever.
When I saw that, I was thinking if that was me, I would, tongue in cheek, I'd probably hang it in my bathroom. So if people, came round, they'd be like, "Oh, what's that?" You go, "Yeah, I review toilet rolls professionally." So,
if only it was that easy and it was just the toilet rolls, that would be easy peasy. Be brilliant. But unfortunately, there is a little bit more to it than that.
Absolutely, and we're gonna dive into all of that. But on a serious note, then, Char. So getting that 1 million award, did you know much beforehand that you were going to be getting that? Did like TikTok reach out and say you're the first person? Like, how did it roll? Or were you just going day by day in November and you were like, wow, this is going to be quite a big month?
So I only really found out that I was going to be close to it towards the end of November, because November was so crazy. I was just kind of in that zone. I had so much going on, lives, videos, all of that. I didn't even check until they said, Char, you're so close to hitting that milestone. I was like, nah, I can't be. Then I went and checked. I was like, flipping heck, I nearly am there. But there was only about a few days left, but Black Friday was still one of the days that was left, and I knew it would be really big then. But I actually hit it. I think it was either the day before or the day after Black Friday. I can't remember now because it's all such a blur. And then they said, yeah, you're gonna receive an award. And I was like, I want to keep it quiet. I don't want to say anything, because what if they look at the refunds? What if they check, all of that? And I haven't done it, and I've started spouting my mouth off saying that I have. So I waited and waited and waited, and then obviously in January they said, come and meet us. We're gonna give you the award. And I was like, yes, I've done it, and now I can tell everybody about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You must have felt like so good. So with those last few days of November, then, when you thought I'm going to get close to it, was it just an absolute whirlwind of videos and lives, or were you just continue to kind of do business as usual there?
I did a lot more than usual. I did like really crazy, like 12-hour lives and stuff like that. So, I did put a lot of effort in to get it. It wasn't easy by any means. The whole thing is still a bit of a blur to me. I think I'm still recovering from it, to be honest. It was just wild. The whole month of November was a wild time, but obviously I can't believe that I did it. I don't think I still believe that I did it now. I have to keep checking. Are you sure? But yeah, I just don't believe it's me, because there's so many great creators out there. I really wouldn't have thought that I'd be one of the first to do it, but I'm not going to be the only one to do it. Use that as motivation that it can be done. That's what I say to everybody listening right now. If I can do it, come on, anyone can do it, to be honest.
Well, no, I think you definitely demonstrate a lot of traits that you need to have to be successful what you do, which from my experience is quite hard to come by. But we'll come on to that in a bit. Before we dive into November in a bit more detail and just your general experience, I'm intrigued to know what was the story before you started TikTok Shop, because you were pretty new to it, right? If you started in 2022, were you you were at risk of redundancy, and then were you looking at side hustles online and you just came across this, or what's the story there?
So I joined the app COVID times when everyone was really bored, and it was just a silly app. I had no idea what I was doing on it, and I just started posting a couple of videos of my dogs, and then I started coming up with this great idea to keep myself entertained, because it was really boring back then. You couldn't really be going out doing anything, and I worked from home full time anyway, so I was bored. I had nothing else to do, so I started posting some review videos. So my account has always been reviews, really, so I never really did anything else apart from that. So I just bought random things from the shop and just spoke about them, and I ordered a lot of pick and mix sweets from TikTok sellers before TikTok Shop was a thing, and then I reviewed them and did videos and that kind of stuff. So
literally just review. There was no commission. It was just you just reviewing it for a hobby kind of.
Yeah, it was just a hobby, just to keep myself entertained whilst this lockdown and all this kind of thing was going on. I was still bored. Obviously, when TikTok Shop came along, I didn't know it had launched. I had no idea. The only reason why I joined TikTok Shop was I noticed somebody had a shoppable link in the video, and I went, oh, I'll buy that because I need one of those. It was a shower head. I need a new one, so I'm going to order that. And I just happened to post a review on it, and it went crazy. I was like, hold on a minute, what's going on here? And then I saw how much commission that I was making from it, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to actually continue doing this, because we wanted that dream family holiday. What you've always thought about, but you probably wouldn't be able to achieve it. Me and my husband both working full-time jobs, and still we couldn't afford it, basically. So I said to him, I'm going to do this a little bit as a side hustle. I'm going to find some more products to review and see how it goes. And it just kind of took off from there, really. But I was really lucky that I know there was a couple of other creators that started it before me, but I was quite early on the TikTok shop journey, and I think I kind of got a little bit ahead. Really, it's a lot harder now for people, which is why, people like yourself who have this community who help people, I think it's really beneficial, because I had no help whatsoever, and I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
any clue what I was doing. So it took me quite a while to kind of build up that momentum, and I didn't feel confident enough to leave my job. And if I wasn't at risk of redundancy, I don't know when I would have possibly gone anyway. It was only because there was that kind of threat that I might have to leave, that I thought, you know what, this is a sign. So I'm just gonna leave anyway, and I'm gonna do it full time. The worst case is I have to get another job, and I just put everything that I had into it.
Love that. Yeah.
And here we are.
And
To pay off.
how did your husband react? Because that must have been a little bit risky sounding to him. You've been like, I'm going to review products, and back then no one would have heard of this side hustle, as it were. So was he kind of like, all right, yeah, or was he fully supportive and like, yeah, absolutely, go for it?
Before I was at risk of redundancy, he definitely didn't think it was a good idea for me to be leaving, because I didn't really enjoy my job. If I loved it, I would have stayed, but I wasn't really enjoying it anyway.
Yeah.
I've been doing the same job for a long time, and it was kind of a bit, getting a bit boring. And there was no further way for me to progress in the department that I was in, blah, blah, blah. But he was kind of like, yeah, you've only done it for a few months. You shouldn't really just be leaving or anything like that. And I was like, you know what, that's really sensible. So I'm not going to. But then when I was at risk of redundancy and the way they treated me and stuff like that, he became really supportive, and he said, you know what, just do it anyway. And the worst is you could get another job. So it was really supportive around that time of how much I was like upset by, this whole redundancy process and things like that. And he was like, you know what, probably should take it as a sign. And he was fully on board with me doing it. So I was really lucky in that regard to have him there to support me in that decision. I don't know if I would have done it without his, support and backing, because it is, like I say, it is a risk. But yeah, I do have a lot of, knowledge, skills and qualifications that meant I could have got another law job, reasonably easy. I did look at other jobs, just because I did go full-time TikTok in January, one of the worst times to start doing it, to be honest.
Oh God, we'll come on to that as well in a bit. Yeah.
So January, February, March, you start thinking, hold on a minute, I made a big mistake here. So I was kind of still looking in the background. I did have, I was speaking to someone about a potential job offer and stuff like that. So I was never, fully convinced. I'm still not convinced now, if you know what I mean. I don't think you ever relax as a creator. You never think, I've got this, everything's easy now. You're always wondering when it's going to be the end, unfortunately. For me, I do.
The pressure's on you, isn't it? Like if you just like, I'm gonna have 2 weeks off and not create content, then you're gonna see that directly. Whereas if you've got a job and you have a 2-week holiday, then you're still getting paid. I guess it's just one of the kind of downsides, I guess, of working for yourself. But then the upside is unlimited earnings. So so when you say like law, then I'm presuming there was no experience with content creation, speaking in front of the camera, stuff. So how did you get comfortable with that? Because one of the biggest reservations that I'd say people have, especially when they join Honest Creators, is I say, Jansen, I just want to do faceless content. I don't want my face out there. I'm embarrassed. But you kind of took the bull by the horns and went straight for face-to-face reviews. How did you get comfortable with that?
I basically just had to force myself, because I never had any confidence. I was very isolated anyway, because I work from home full time. I didn't actually have any clients at that point where I'd speak to them on the phone or anything like that. I was literally behind the scenes, didn't speak. Sometimes I just wouldn't speak to anyone other than Nay when he came home. So my confidence level was way down. And on TikTok, putting yourself out there in front of the camera is a very daunting experience as it is. I just literally had to do it. I had to force myself to do it. But I did a little bit of faceless as well. I wasn't fully, in front of the camera. It took me ages and ages to go live as well. I didn't jump straight into live, because that in itself is a very scary thing. That's a whole other realm of scary times going live. But I just practiced. Things might take about 10 takes or something like that for me to get comfortable with, okay, I'm going to post this now. But if anyone's thinking, oh, I really want to try it, but I'm not feeling that confident, just get your phone camera open and just start talking to yourself. as if you're talking to a friend or something like that, and then you can soon
Yeah.
feel a bit more relaxed about being on camera. But Nay, he hates it. He's not even comfortable with it now. He doesn't like it. He wants to be completely faceless when he does his videos now, because he just
Oh,
doesn't.
have you got him on it? Have you?
Yeah, he has his own account, but he did a little bit of, you know, face to the camera, but he says he just hates it so much. He feels so uncomfortable, and he just admires me a lot to that I can just do it. But you know, he
Yeah,
really struggles,
yeah.
and he doesn't like doing it at all. So I totally, if anybody feels like that, then you know, it's
It,
a real
it's just
thing.
it's one of those things, isn't it? It comes with like practice and your confidence goes up, and then eventually, like, do you know what? I don't really care. But I saw a good tip the other day that said for people that do have issues with that to film off the back camera of the phone rather than the front, so you can't see yourself when you're talking. Because apparently, when you're filming off the front camera and you're looking at yourself, that can also be quite off-putting. And then in the back of your mind, you think, you know, I look stupid or whatever. So that's a tip for anybody watching that that would like to try face to face, but maybe hasn't got the courage yet. So would I be right in saying that was like January, February 2023 that you were
Yeah.
kind of going for it full power? So when did you kind of start to see results where you were like, wow, this is, you know, potentially going to be able to replace my full-time job and even more? Was it like pretty quick off the bat?
I would say things went from I'm just getting by to holy crap, this is incredible
Yeah.
around July kind of time, June, July. I can't remember the exact time, but it's
Yeah.
always in the later half of the year anyway. And we'll find that out. You know, it starts picking up in the summertime, like the summer sales, end of summer sale, obviously Black Friday and things like that. So yeah, it was June, July kind of time that things really, really ramped up for me.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess just people generally, the broader variety of products like summer holiday products and things like that. Like I don't know what your view is on like the best type of products to promote on TikTok, but I often see like it's kind of sometimes the quirkier products that you don't see in the shops or real value products. So like for example, I saw you promoting a big tub of Maltesers that I've never seen in the shops or whatever before. And your
Yeah.
views on that was insane. Was that just
Yeah,
something that
I
you
got that,
were
and they
doing?
said no one's going to be interested in that. I was like, oh, I'll do a video anyway. I like Maltesers, and yeah, I've got some great views on it and some great sales on it. So,
Yeah,
yeah, get yourself a tub of Maltesers. You never know what will happen.
absolutely. So just out of interest and shock, for like all the products that you promote now, is that literally just are people effectively fighting to send you stuff? Is it like agencies, or do you still have to go on the app and you're like, oh, I like that, request a sample?
Yeah, basically, if you think you get any red carpet treatment because you do like crazy well, no. Yes, okay, I'll get a few more offers of we'd like to work with you and stuff like that. Absolutely, I do.
Yeah.
But still, the process is the same. You know, I have a look on Product Marketplace, I have a look in the Spotlight store and see what's going on, and then I use my sample vouchers, or you know, if I can request a sample, then great. If not, I do buy a lot of the stuff as
Do
well.
you? I was going to say, is
Just to get on with it, really. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I've done that before when I'm like the samples can take 3 weeks to arrive. I'd rather just buy it and get it, you know, next day off Amazon. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I've
the
done
reason
that
I
loads
ask is
of
that
times.
I was looking at your Maltesers and I was like, oh, there's no free sample. How can I get some? And I was like, my wife would probably tell me off if I was like, I've just spent £13 on a tub of Maltesers. Although it is Valentine's, so I could probably get away with it.
Buy 2 tubs and you can have free delivery.
There you go. You're all tuned into the promo stuff, aren't you? So, as I said earlier, you promote like a variety of different products. What's
Yeah.
been like the biggest home run in terms of a product for you where you've been like, that's printed serious cash?
It's things like what you said. It is the quirky and the different things that you might not just see in the shops. Because some of my best sellers are things that you definitely probably wouldn't have just seen on the shelves just walking around, you know, B&M or Tesco or wherever. So one was like printing cash, which was the little push pop-it toy for kids. They described it as like
Yeah,
a kid's
yeah,
fidget toy, like a whack-a-mole style game that you press the
yeah,
buttons when they're lit up.
yeah. My son's got that.
It was crazy. I sold thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of it, and that was weird because I never thought that would happen. And it was so cheap as well, but the commission was still really good. So that was one of my really early viral videos back when things really took off for me. And then there was this speaker that was also a lamp, and then it was also had a wireless charging pad on it, which was a little bit different. That just took off crazy as well. Sold thousands of that. I think I sold about £150,000 worth of just that product alone. So I made a few more videos on it to sell a few more. Hot water bottle belt. I mean, I sold all sorts, really, to be honest.
I'm a bit concerned you not mentioned the toilet roll after your title. So was it literally? Have you even done any more
last year? The toilet roll is last year's success. It wasn't toilet roll wasn't really my success when I first started out. It was those weird and wonderful kind of gadgets that you don't really see in the shops. Yeah. And then last year, 2024, that's the toilet roll. And that was still again later in the year. My first viral video with it was August. I was actually away on holiday, and I was having a great time on holiday, because you always worry when you go on holiday, you think everything's going to slide and drop off a cliff. And it turned out when I was away for most of the month, that was my best month, apart from obviously the November. But
yeah. Oh, nice. Well, I don't know if you'd heard or been told this, but TikTok are launching a subscription feature. They've just launched it in the US. So for products like toilet roll, supplements and stuff, that's going to be amazing for us creators, right? Because if you can sell, I don't know, 6 weeks worth of toilet roll once, and someone subscribes to that, you're going to get that commission every 6 weeks. So that's where you're going to, really be able to stack up the mega commissions and go on holiday without having to worry about doing extra videos. So something
I can see everyone moving to supplements really soon.
Yeah,
if that's the case. But it's launched in the USA, isn't it? I don't. When is it coming here? Is it definitely coming here?
Well, yeah, it's the US is kind of the favorite, isn't it? But it's quite ironic because I mean, if it gets banned in a month, then the TikTok come crawling back to us and say, "Oh, you can have the subscription feature." But just from, I mean, looking on Twitter, it seems it's expected probably like April, May time when I imagine when they've tested it on a bigger market. But speaking of supplements, is that something that you don't mind promoting, or do you generally stay away because they're associated with violations? Like, what's your view?
I do some, but only the ones I actually take myself. But like you say, it's violations waiting to happen. So I'm someone that takes the apple cider vinegar gummies, like I have done for, it must be over a year now. And I take a multivitamin, but the thing is, I like the gut stuff as well. I mean, there's loads that I take and use, so I could talk about it passionately because I feel like it's helped me, but I don't know if it's worth the risk. So I've done a little bit, but I go because I'm so cautious, because I've had a strike against my account. I've had violations that racked up. I've been in trouble. I've been in trouble before. So I've just been really careful to the point where me doing supplements is probably just not a good idea, because I just can't sell it properly, because I can't really say what I want to say about it, and I don't want to do these scripts that they give you. Well, these are the approved words. Like, I don't really do that kind of thing. I don't like it because it feels unnatural to me. So I don't really do it.
Like you've got such a catalogue of videos that will still be selling for you. So like, if you got your account banned, that's potentially like thousands of pounds lost, every single month or whatever, straight off the bat, right? So I can understand that. I mean, and to be honest, the market's big enough with different products and all sorts that it's not like you'd be scratching your head thinking, what else can I promote? So did you have much success with the projector? Because those were going wild in November. Is that something that contributed to your million month?
Yeah, definitely. This one is still my bestseller. Last month, sorry. I can't believe it. In January, this was still my bestseller. I checked it just before we came on, just in case you asked me. But it's still going hot. Not as hot, but it's still going well. People still want to buy it. I've not made any new videos on it. I don't really need to, because all the old videos are doing the work for me, which is great, because they really last. When you put some videos out there, never delete them, because you never know what can happen in about 3 months' time. They start kicking off. And still making your sales and stuff. So it's brilliant. The projector was really good.
I agree. It's surprising, because you think 200,000 units are listed as sold, and you're like, surely everyone that's on TikTok has seen the projectors now and they've bought them. But obviously not. So that kind of raises a good question in my mind. When you say you've done enough videos and things, like how many videos would you do per product, or like what's your process when you get a product through as a sample? Are you just like, we'll just see how one video does and assess, or you like, I want to do minimum 5 videos spread out across whatever, and then we'll assess?
So I'll get one product. Obviously, I'll film one video. If I really think that it's going to be a great seller, I will film a second video at the same time as when I film the first video and save it. Yeah. Then if that video does kick off, start getting some sales, I then go to a comment, reply to the comment, throw out that other video as part of the reply. And then you've got, you know, no extra time really wasted other than obviously uploading it and typing your captions and all that sort of stuff. So yes, I'll have one in the bank. Normally, if I really believe it's going to be a big seller, I will have one recorded at the same time, because I've got my product in my hand. I've already just filmed a video. All the information's fresh in my mind. I might as well just do another video on it and save it now. So I'd recommend doing that. And then if it does kick off, look at the comments and just really, some of my best selling videos are replies to comments. Yeah, absolutely. So I wouldn't put off replying to a comment with video reply, because it really does, it can go out crazy.
And are they typically any comment, or is it more like a troll one, or like do you when you're looking through the comments, do you normally look out for certain ones because you like that will cause more drama, or do you just, you know, pick the first one?
No, I pick nice comments to reply to, because I think picking nasty ones just invites more people to say nasty things because they think they're going to get a bit of a reply from you. So I don't really reply to any. I mean, I might do on occasion if someone really, you know, needs educating, then maybe I might reply to them with a video. But mostly I will choose a nice comment, or, you know, someone who wants a little bit more information about the product. I will then, you know, I might have to do a different video if I've not covered it, but normally a nice comment, really.
Yeah, okay, that's a good tip. A lot of my videos, for one reason or another, get probably more hate than likes. So, but I do like the ones
where hate, it means you're doing good, though. You know, you reviewed comments on. I mean, don't look at them if you're easily sensitive and you think it's going to put you off. But if you hate on a video, it normally means you're doing very well, and the sales will come with it.
Yeah, it really surprises me, because like my style is typically more like, you know, the skit or the story side, and sometimes, even though it is GCSE drama, there's still an extremely large amount of people that believe it's real and will be commenting like, why would you do this, and this is why I would never trust a man, and blah blah blah. And I was just like, oh, okay, fine. But on the topic of like different styles, we'll come on to that. But first, I'm really intrigued to know like what your day-to-day is, because every single time I go on TikTok, I see you're live or you've uploaded a video. So like, you know, so much respect for you for that consistency, that persistence. It's just like, you're just like relentless with it, aren't you? And I guess that's working for you. How do you structure your day, and how do you keep yourself motivated to do that?
I don't know about the motivation thing. I think it's just because it's a routine for me now. It's just instilled in me that this is what I'm going to do. So I tried to not go live every day because I wanted to have a break. But then I just end up making some videos and then wanting to go live to push them out into the algorithm anyway. So I still end up going live.
Is that something that works for you? So you're saying when you go live, it pushes your videos out?
Absolutely. If you're not going live, if you can go live, look at your videos, post one just before you go live, have one in drafts, go live for a little bit, post one whilst you're live, and just watch the video views come in. If I wasn't going live and I just posted videos, they will hit that 200 jail, and they will kind of just lay there for a bit. If you want your videos to get pushed out quickly into the algorithm and generate some early sales to get ahead of the curve before everyone else starts jumping on the same product or whatever, go live. It does push mine out anyway. I don't know if anybody else has seen that, but I definitely do.
Yeah, I'm really pleased that you say that, because there's been people in Honest Creators that have said, oh, I went live and I suddenly got 2,000 views. Do you think that's because people are on your live and they're then going on your profile, or it's just the algorithm that's just like, Char's going live, we're going to reward her by pushing, you know, the videos out?
I think it is that, because when people that I follow are live, if I go in the For You page and I start having a scroll, their videos will be coming up often. and it will be because they're live. So I genuinely believe as soon as you go live, it pushes your videos out into the For You page.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. So, all right, so it's part of the routine, but like, do you kind of say to yourself, 9 a.m. I need to be? Is this your filming room that you're in now?
Yeah.
By the way, what is that ticker behind you? It's just ticked
So
up.
if someone follows me, it'll go up. If someone unfollows me, it'll go down. So it's quite satisfying. Pray that I never get cancelled.
You'll be watching this as this goes out. I'm hoping these are all people following you that's watching this now. That's really cool. So it's connected to like your account directly on the internet, or is it like a computer like an app?
Yeah, it's just connected via the internet and my account. You kind of like sync it in, and then it's just real time. Yeah, it's quite handy to know.
I'd get that, but it would literally change like one every like day.
Mine doesn't hardly move at all. It moves when I'm live and when people see my videos, and then it starts moving. If it moves now, it'll be people probably unfollowing like bots, or just people that don't like me anymore and stuff like that. So
I bet that acts as motivation for you though as well, to go live and just like, are you like a numbers person in the sense that you just like numbers going up? So like with that, for example, even though it doesn't mean anything from a monetary perspective, you just like, I just like my number being bigger. Because that's what I have with a lot of things, and I think seeing that would encourage me to go live and do more.
Yeah, I really want to get to 200,000. I feel like people might take me a bit more seriously if I get to that kind of number.
Right. Well, everybody watching this now, go now and follow Char's on TikTok.
I'm
with all of your accounts.
Has someone unfollowed me now? No, I think it's gone down. Someone's testing it.
I said follow, not unfollow. So, I'm still, intrigued about the scheduling. Like, do you aim with your lives? Because when we were arranging this interview, you said, "Oh, I finish at, was it 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the evening?" Like, do you have a cut-off time when we're live past this?
I'd say the evenings are my time, but to be honest, it's not. I'd try and make it my time, but sometimes. Do you know when an idea just pops into your mind and you think I've got to execute it now before I forget? Yeah. I sometimes film a few videos, but they will be the faceless ones because I'll always be in my pajamas, you see. So yeah.
I feel like I do like that, but I definitely feel like TikTok has kind of spoiled my attention span for anything, because whenever I'm looking at a product, I'll just think, oh, a good scenario could be this, and then next thing I know, I'm writing it on my phone to try and remember, and so on. And even when watching TV, in the back of your mind, you're just probably thinking, what product can I promote tomorrow or whatever. So do you, with your filming and your ideas and all things like that, have you constantly got a backlog of products? Because like one of the things that really gives me anxiety is having a backlog of products with samples. When you're like, oh, I've got to promote so and so by 2 days. Do you have that, or does it wear off once you're a big hitter?
Yeah, I do check it often, but you do get quite a long time with TikTok to promote these products. So I don't really get any anxiety about, oh no, it's getting near the deadline. And I am quite organized with it actually. But because I go live, if I need a little to take the pressure off a little bit, I can add it to the live. I'm still going to do a video on it, but I can add it to the live, clear it off, and then I can have a couple of extra days. But normally I don't do that. Normally I'm because everything that I get, I really want to promote it. So I don't leave it there because I'm not interested in it or whatever. I really just want to get on with it and do a fun video with it and things like that. So I never really have that issue. It's only when you go on holiday and you start worrying, oh no, what have I got a big long list of things that I've got to do? Really?
I did that in August. I went on like a lad's trip to Ibiza, and I had a vacuum cleaner to promote on like the 4th day I was there. So I got my wife to film B-roll while I was here, and then in the apartment I had to film like a face review or whatever, and I was just like, oh god, what's going on? But thankfully I agree, like the job's so much easier if you actually genuinely like the product. Just out of interest, what would you say is your number one product for your enjoyment, where you've got it and you've been like, wow, that's actually really, really cool, I'm going to use it?
Anything that's a bit techie. So I love doing mobile phone reviews, tablets. I love all that kind of stuff. Anything that's, techie like that.
When I saw the projector,
that excites me. Stuff like that. all the tech and electronics products. I love all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Lights. I like lights that react to sound and stuff like that. So yeah, strip
Yeah.
lights and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Have you
All
got
that
the
kind of thing.
LED lights that go around the back of the TV and it kind of changes the color based on what you're watching? I
Yeah,
saw
I'm
that.
not got a remote, but I've got some here that will
Yeah.
light up and they react to sound and all that kind of stuff. I've got some behind my projector screen that do it as well. So
Have
yeah, I love
you?
all of that.
Nice. So you're a bit of a techno lover.
We like
So,
it.
all right. So we've covered the like day to day, but like with respect to November, then when you
Yeah,
were, did you have a change of strategy there? Were you just like, I just want to crush November? I guess it would be your second one, right? If you properly started
yeah.
in 2023. First of all, I'm guessing this 2024 has been a lot bigger than 2023 in terms of people buying stuff on TikTok, just naturally
Yeah, in
from.
terms of the GMV, obviously it was much, much bigger. Yeah. The year before, the commission was bigger, believe it or not, because the more TikTok becomes established and the more fees they bring to the sellers, you'll see that the commission rates are going down quite a lot. Whereas, if you were there in the good old days when it had only just started, you could get some crazy commission on
Really?
things. So even though I've done like this crazy award and things, I actually made more physical commission money last year. Last year, the year before, I made more commission.
Really? Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. That's interesting. I guess like with your the bubble pop thing that you said, like super low price, but the commission was amazing. Yeah,
mm.
because if conversion was higher, less people competing, TikTok fees and all that stuff. So that's interesting. So, but even so, then November, was there like a change in strategy where you were just like, I'm just gonna go live every day, film as many videos as I can, and like how did you like approach that?
I was thinking about Black Friday about 2 months before it was here. So I did a lot of pre-planning and I posted a lot of videos before Black Friday that I knew would then get pushed out during the month of November. So yes, of course, I posted a lot during November, but I wouldn't say it was particularly loads more or anything like that. So I just did a lot of forward planning with thinking about what people are going to be looking at or
Hmm.
wanting to buy at Black Friday, but then posting videos on those products 2 months in advance so that they can hit off and do really well. But yeah, the projector was a big one, and that had been around for ages. So videos were already out there, ready to take off, and then obviously boosted by a few more videos that I posted on the stuff that was already going big. And like I threw out another toilet roll bundle deal video and stuff like that,
Yeah.
just to, make that go a bit more crazy. So looked at my best sellers, thought would they be Black Friday appropriate, and just did another video on all of those.
Yeah, that's a good strategy then. Do you do that generally for most holidays and things? If you like, well, Christmas is coming up or Mother's Day, you kind of start dropping the videos a lot earlier than other people might because the algorithm will pick it up and push it closer to the event when it's a bit more established.
Absolutely. So already now I'm thinking people are going to be going on holiday. So what have I posted videos on? Travel cases, swimwear, and things like that already now in February. Now that might fail. Like I'm not saying this is a perfect strategy, and it
No.
may be that those videos don't pick up. But when people talk a lot about this search engine optimization, so what people are searching for, and if my video's already out there, it's already got a few likes and comments, it's more likely to be already kind of in that search engine area. So when people start looking for travel bags, my video is already going to be there, whereas somebody else might not be thinking about it until, oh well, everyone might want that now, so now I'll think about getting the sample. Okay, that's going to take me a few days, then I need to record the video, then I need to post it. By that time I might have already sold a load because my video is already out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a really good tip actually. All right, so we've talked about the highs of November, even though you probably didn't appreciate it until you actually got that official award in January. I think it's also important to talk about the lows. It's no secret, is it, amongst the big creators? Isaac was saying during the last interview we did that January's been quite slow, and so is February.
Mm.
First of all, is that something that you've experienced last year, the year before? Is this time a little bit unusual? Like, what's your take on it?
So last year it was quiet, but I just don't remember it being this bad. I know that ain't good news, but I really don't remember it being quite this difficult. And for somebody who's obviously done quite well recently, it means nothing because you can definitely drop back down massively. But I feel like it's a big struggle. But it was difficult last year as well. It just seems even harder now. And I don't know whether that's just because there's so many more people doing TikTok shop as well. So then it's spread out more thinly. But everyone I speak to, everyone's in the same boat. It's not just you. Everybody's suffering with the lower sales. And February is dive bombed like massively downwards. I just got to hope that it picks back up.
I know. I literally last week I was like, thank God it's January payday. Things are going to recover, and like today's been the worst day for me for commission. I just the ratio from commissions to views is way off. Like generally, like last year, what I'd see is like one sale per 1,000 views or something. But at the moment, it can be like 4,000, 5,000, even higher. So yeah, you just don't know, do you? You don't know if it's the TikTok algorithm is being played around with. You don't know if it's just the UK British consumer just wanting to be a bit more reserved, or what. But yeah, I guess it is comforting in the sense that everyone's going through it, right? Even Isaac said with his lives that the number that he's used to is a lot smaller at the moment. Is that something you've seen on your lives as well?
Oh, massively. Yeah. So I used to get about 200 viewers quite consistently, and that was quite nice. You'd make some good sales with that number. And I know Isaac, he did great. He had like maybe 600, plus. And, he was doing amazing as well. Not saying he's not now, but now if I go live, I'm lucky to get about 40 people in the room. So I feel like there has been a switch. If I go on the For You page, like I did the other night, and add a little scroll because there's nothing on TV, I am seeing some people's older videos from like, kind of Christmas time coming up. So I was thinking perhaps they're still pushing out the old content, and maybe that's why things are slowed down, along with obviously it being February and people aren't spending as much. So I just have to believe that, things will switch back at some point and it'll all go back to business as normal.
I'm sure they will. It's in TikTok's interest, isn't it? If they want to be
absolutely
taking over the world with social commerce and all that, to put it back to how it was. So one thing that I wanted to discuss with you is kind of like your style versus the different styles. So I would say that your style is more like a product demonstration. In fact, it's like a review, right? The clue's in the name. So you're kind of very upfront with it. And would you say that you wouldn't really do a hook, but you just kind of like, this product here is this straight off the bat, and you dive into it? Would you say that strategy is something that you would continue to recommend to new people starting, nowadays? Or are there any kind of considerations that people would need to make if they were going with that style, which suits some people a lot better? As you said, I think you said GCSE drama gives you the ick, and I was just like,
it does a little bit. But the thing is, I haven't got the talent for all that anyway, so it does make me feel a bit but when I say that, it means like if I was going to do it, because I'm literally haven't got the skill or the knowledge or the comedy aspect to do these skits and perform it well. If I was going to do it, oh my God, I wouldn't be able to watch myself. I definitely would cringe and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I just get to the point, but it doesn't mean that that's what everybody else should be doing. If you've got a little bit of something different about you, then roll with it. If you can make up a funny story or a scenario that you think's going to hook in the viewers, absolutely go for it. I'm just talentless, so therefore I just go, here's a product, it's growing, it's on a deal, do you want to get it? This is what it does. So that's just my style, because that's what I'm comfortable in doing, and that's what I'm capable of doing.
I think you're in. I would say my style, the skit, is probably more the minority. I mean, like at school, I was the class clown. I didn't really give a shit, about making a fool of myself. Whereas, like from what I've seen in my community, most people prefer to do the kind of ad style. But this is where I'd welcome your view. I think the issue with the ad style is because it's more appealing to such a wider amount of people. more people do that on TikTok, and therefore you've got more competition, as it were. Because if someone's scrolling, they're like ad, next ad, and then next, and it's like, oh, okay, it's another ad, but this person showed something slightly different. Whereas I guess with the skit style, people don't really realize it is an ad until maybe they've watched the hook, the 10 seconds in, and by which time you've got the view. But what I've learned from the skit style is that whilst the views can be good, the conversion can be terrible, because the TikTok algorithms just so confused. It's like, okay, this bucket of people watched it till 20 seconds, but then they didn't buy. And that's because they didn't know it was an ad until 10, 20 seconds in. Whereas your style, people know it's an ad immediately. And if they're watching 10, 20 seconds, it's probably because they're really interested and they want to buy. So the algorithm can find more people like that. So there are pros and cons of each. But would you say with your style, are there any like tips that you would give to people that do want to do that? Like in terms of how you think of structuring your videos, how you think of certain benefits, features, whatever. Like, is there
Just
an approach?
get to the point quickly.
Get to the point. And what is the point?
Have the product in the first 3 seconds as well, because if that person is interested, they will watch you. Obviously, they'll swipe off if not. But I think there's nothing more frustrating than watching somebody for like 20 seconds, then they bring the product out, and then you go, oh, well, I don't want to buy that anyway, and I've wasted my time, and then they'll be annoyed. So if you go, here's the product straight away, let's talk about it, then people know exactly what it is that you're going to be talking about. And if they have had an interest in that kind of thing before, then they will stay and watch it and they will buy it. So I just think, people's attention span sometimes aren't very long, especially when it comes to, buying things. So they want to see either the product straight away, or it working, or in action, like really quickly. Unless you're like a big influencer, maybe like someone who's like Luke, who can do a bit more of a long-winded thing because he's such a big character and everyone knows who he is. So they will sit and listen to him maybe for 10 minutes, but nobody's going to sit and listen to me for 10 minutes talking about a product. So I just get to the point. And if you're new and you're unknown, get to the point straight away.
Yeah. And I guess the choice of product is a big factor, because if you're holding up something like the projector and people are like, that's unusual, what's that? And they're kind of a bit more intrigued. I mean, it even worked for your Maltesers, right? I guess because people have never seen a 1 kilo box of Maltesers before. So they were like, oh, and wanting to stick around. Did that surprise you how well that video did? Or were you a bit like...
I didn't think it would do that well, to be honest. I thought, I don't know. I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to do a video. I had it in the cupboard for ages. I know it's really bad of me, isn't it? Because I just got it for me, really, and the family, not really to do a video on. I thought, it's quite a big tub. I'll squeeze it like that to the screen and see if anyone likes it. And so it's always the unexpected.
Yeah.
As good as your eye can be for product selection, sometimes it is what you least expect to do well.
Yeah, and I think that's another point of why it's important with the volume and the consistency. Like if you have one video and it doesn't do as well as you thought, like you can't get emotionally attached, can you? And just be like, no, I'm not. You just have to keep going, testing more different products and so on. So all right, we have had a couple of questions come through, but I did just want to ask you your kind of view, or are you with an agency? Do you have any views on that, or are you a lone soldier?
No, I'm with an agency, the same one as Isaac, actually.
Oh, right.
They're really helpful in the fact that, I can lean on them for a bit of help if I get a violation, or if I have a product that I, particularly like that maybe isn't on free sample. They might be able to get it for me or something like that, perhaps, and they send me the sample vouchers and things. But they're a good support team, and they're really helpful, and they can help me get like live exclusive prices and stuff like that. So they're really good
things. We I have already announced this internally, but I'll announce it again here. We just got partnered with TikTok, so we're going to be like launching on the agency side as well. So
how exciting!
I might come for you in a few months once I've built up
My
enough.
contract's up in June.
Right, I'm going to write that down now, and I'll pop by yours in June, Char. So, guys, if you would like to ask any questions, I can see a number in the comments at the moment, but please do post them through. So, Sam is asking, what are the percentage split between lives and posts? Would you say, if you can approximate that at all?
Yeah, I'd say videos are the moneymaker. They still are massively for me. I'd say 80% of the revenue and commission or whatever that I make is from videos, and then 20% the live. Lives are big earners. If you go on for ages and it's a big campaign day like Black Friday, for example, yeah, it can be a massive earner. However, if it's just like on a day-to-day basis, it's not going to, it doesn't really outperform my videos. So mostly videos. If you can get the video side right, that's where the real money is.
Yeah, but then I guess also when you said about going live, it helps boost your views on your videos as well. So I guess it kind of helps each other.
Yeah.
Isaac was a huge fan of lives. I mean, maybe if I asked him now, his answer would be different, because we were coming fresh off the back of Christmas Black Friday, where he was making a ton. But he did say sometimes, you go live for like 2-3 hours, just sat in his car showing a dash cam. And I don't know how he does it, because I run out of things to say after about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
To do it for that long, it's seriously impressive. Cool. So Shalini is asking, how long do we need to be on a live? And do you talk about the product you posted in the video before coming live?
Yeah, that's really good. So if you have a particular hero product, like one that you really think is going to be great in the live, post a video on that before you go live. Then if people see the video, because it should, fingers crossed, get pushed into the For You page, people join your live and you're talking about that product, they might be interested in it because they've seen it from your video. I go live for a minimum of 2 hours. Now, that was instilled in me from a very early time. From my first agency, they said 2 hours, you've got to do 2 hours really, else the algorithm won't like it. And that's just been stuck in my mind, and I don't really do much less than that, because I do worry that it'll affect my account in some way, but I don't know if there is any true science about it. But yeah, a minimum of 2 hours. How long you talk about an individual product on the live, really, I would try and talk about it for about 5 minutes if you can. That is really difficult though. But then it gives people enough chance to think about it, decide that they're going to purchase it, and check out. If within that 5 minutes they haven't asked any questions, they haven't put it in their basket, because you can see that now again, and they haven't checked out, then you're going to move on to the next one, and so on and so forth.
And I think I saw on your TikTok you had some tips, which was, do you have like an iPad that you log on from a separate account? Yeah. So what's the strategy? Like, what's the purpose of that?
So it's really handy. Make yourself a second account, call it whatever your username is, mod account or something like that, whatever, user, whatever. Second account, then be friends with that second account, make that second account a moderator that is allowed to pin and see all your data. Then have like a spare phone or a tablet, enter the live on that device, and then you can bring up all the data is now changed. It has an iPad anyway, so now you can see, just by bringing up the list of products in the live, whether people have even added it to basket now, which is so helpful. So it just gives you an extra visual page.
Yeah. How does that help with seeing it in the basket? As in, it's more for your, like, come on, keep going, or you can encourage people to buy still?
Yeah, because I can go, oh, I can see there's 5 people that have added this Bluetooth speaker to the basket. Wow. Make sure you check out during the live to get the discount or whatever it is. And then if people then start checking out. The other day I did a live and something was really popular, and there was like 50 people had added it to the basket. So I talk about that a bit more, because even if you want to encourage them obviously to check out during the live, but if they put it in the basket and check it out later, I mean, you're still getting the commission for it.
Yeah.
So, you might as well go with what people are looking at and add into basket and just work from there. So it can help structure your live, because you can go live and you wonder, well, I don't know which product to talk about next. So
you can use that as kind of a bit of a guide to see what people are putting in there.
Talk about there. Yeah, that's really handy. Really good tip. All right, Awana's asking, with samples, what would you do if you get one that's low quality? You just, would you stick to promoting it? What's the strategy?
So if it was broken and unusable, I would just message the seller and say, hey, this has happened. Can you send a replacement or something like that? If it really is rubbish, people appreciate nothing more than an honest review. I love giving honest reviews, and you're still going to tag the product in the video. Now, if you can find any positive about it, you can say the positives are this, the negatives are that. So I did a video the other day saying that I don't really like these little lamps. People still bought it from me. Really? Because their opinion is different to mine. So as much as you might think that it's a low quality product and maybe a little bit out of people's price point, voice it, because people appreciate the honesty. But some people, people love to disagree on the internet. People still bought this, even though I said I wasn't 100% convinced on it. And people still bought it because I linked it in the video. So yeah, you never know what might happen.
Yeah, love it. What would be your number one? This is a good question from Jay. Your number one piece of advice that you give to someone who wants to make money on TikTok that was just getting started?
Put everything you've got into it and be consistent, because that's how you kind of need to live and breathe it. It is a 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week kind of job. If you're posting 3 videos a day, stick to it. If you're posting 5 videos a day, stick to it. Don't go up and down. 1 week you'll do 2, then you'll leave it for ages, then do another 2. So just put everything into it. That's all I can say, because that's what I did. I would every single night looking at products and really dedicating a lot of time to researching things like products and reading my messages and just turning up and posting consistently. If you want to make the serious cash, turn up and post the videos and just keep going, and don't focus on the views. Don't ever delete your videos either, because you never know what might happen later down the line. And just keep going, because loads of people will give up, but that's when you're not going to give up and you're going to take their spot. You see, it only takes one video to kick off, and then you've got the motivation to carry on. So I did run a test on my husband's account. When he joined, it took him 26 videos before he had one that made any sales. And that's with me coaching him on, maybe you should say this or do this and that kind of thing. So
yeah, that's
really not everybody's going to get it like that straight away. It can be a bit of a slow burner. I mean, if you've posted videos and you've got sales already, you're definitely on a winning streak already. You're going to analyze those videos, see why you got sales, what were you saying, what were you doing, and then you're just going to replicate that for every single video that you do in the future, and then you've got a winning strategy like that.
It's interesting because the interview with Isaac, we've had a couple of interviews with other creators, and they've all said the same point about the consistency. Like, because the question I often get is how many videos should I post a day, and it's more whatever you're posting, stay consistent to that, like you said, rather than going up and down and up and down.
Yeah, what can you commit to as a creator? Yeah. What can you commit to do every day, and then just try and stick with it?
But I think that point on consistency is like it applies to any business. And I've been coaching Amazon FBA for years and years, and one big thing that people struggle with was finding a product to sell. So they do the product research for 2-3 weeks, and then they just give up and drop off. And when I came across TikTok Shop for Affiliate, I was like, wow, this, like, the barriers to entry is so low. All you've got to do, like you say, is just turn up and just film content. And I think some people forget that sometimes, that it's not get rich quick, and it's something that you do need to put the effort in, and you need to stay persistent. Because I've had messages before of, Jansen, I've done 5 videos and none have got views, and I'm thinking of giving up. And I'm just like, you've done 5 videos, like, you need to have a longer term view on this and look at all the big creators and how much they do. So that's a good little stat there on your partner on how many it took him. Yeah. Okay, what about this one from Michael? How much are you okay for time, by the way? I've got a couple more questions.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Okay. How much do you say it matters that you stay true to what you think of the product? I guess this is kind of similar to the point you were making about the lamp, but yeah, would you always stay true to what you genuinely think? That's why you're a review account, I guess.
Always. Because as much as there are some, trolls that are a bit thick on here, people aren't not everybody is dumb. The trolls are, but most people that genuinely want to buy can see through a bit of BS and a bit of lies.
Yeah.
So it's all about hyping a product up and being passionate and loving it. And yeah, you might say, oh yeah, it's really good, you know, and you really get passionate behind it. But as long as we aren't making any false claims for the point of a sale, I don't see, you know, I don't see a problem with, you know, maybe exaggerating a little bit on how much you love it, because and passionate. And if that comes across in your video, then they will be excited and passionate about buying it, won't they? So yeah, I don't think we don't lie to make sales. I'll always say my own opinion. And if you do want to do it long term, you're always going to have honesty and integrity and all that. It doesn't mean you're not going to make a mistake or you're going to say something's great, but then the majority of people don't agree with you, because everyone's entitled to a different opinion. But yeah, let's not make any lies up about anything to make any sales, but you can be enthusiastic, you know, but how enthusiastic can you be about a bucket of Maltesers? Not really that much, but you can exaggerate it. So that's what I would say.
And I guess if you genuinely like a product, the script or what you say comes to you so much more naturally, doesn't it? Like you don't kind of have to think, oh, what do I say? Cool. So Natalie's asking, would you recommend mixing like shoppable and non-shoppable content? I think that's a good question, because I think I saw from your account, do you do a mix? Because I'm sure I saw some and it was like you reviewing something else that wasn't shoppable.
Yeah, I've tried to throw a little bit more of that in. That's my goal for 2025. It is to do a little bit less shop and throw in a little bit more non-shop, so that people can get to know me as a person, rather than, oh, it's just that girl that's selling the bog rolls again, who we don't know nothing about and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to throw in a little bit more. If you can give your audience something of value, then yes, definitely do some non-shoppable content that's kind of within the niche that your account is going to be about. So for me, it's about reviews. I like food. That kind of ties in with some of the products that I sell. So yeah, I'll do a shopping trip to Tesco, or what have I found in M&S or something like that, because that kind of ties in with the reviews that I'm doing. So yeah, I think it's definitely not a bad thing to throw in a few non-shop videos, because the people that choose to follow you will appreciate not always being sold to every time they open the app, you know. So yeah, if people you can do
that little commission paid thing at the bottom, don't they? They hate it. So I'm sure followers would enjoy being like, oh, Char's not actually getting paid for this one. She's actually just doing it because she likes it.
Exactly.
So Will's asking, with your videos then, and yeah, this is something I was going to mention earlier, but I slipped my mind. Like, so you get the Maltesers or whatever. Do you script? As in,
Never.
I know you don't script word for word, but do you like write down like, okay, this is what I like about it, or is it literally camera on and it's let's go?
Camera on, let's go, because it's a more genuine and authentic reaction to the product. I don't write anything down. I don't do any scripts or anything like that. Okay, I might not like the first take of the video. I might wipe it completely and start again from scratch. But I'll never write anything down, just because I feel like if I'm reading something, or, you know, if it doesn't come naturally to me, I don't feel like it's something that I would be saying. So I just do whatever comes naturally to me. And of course, I think about what I'm going to say, but I don't have a script. It is kind of just how I feel and my thoughts on it, basically.
Yeah. I envy that, because I often find if I don't, I trip over my words and I'm like, for fuck's sake. And then, you know, I'm like, how hard is this word to say, really?
It will just come naturally. I mean, I've had a lot of practice. Because, you know, back in the good old days when I first started, I would be sitting upstairs doing voiceovers to stuff maybe 10 times. And I wouldn't be allowed anyone to hear me, what I'm saying, because I hated the sound of my own voice. And I'd mess up, I'd start it again. And it just comes with practice. So it's not, oh, well, she don't do a script, so I can't do one because of whatever reason. If you need that to get started, or if you need to write something down to get started and actually start posting the videos because you can get it right because you've written it down, absolutely do that. But it's only because I've practiced. I've just had the benefit of time on my side. That's the only reason why I can do it straight out the park, or whatever you want to call it. Just pick up the product and speak about it. That's just something that comes with a lot of practice.
Cool. All right. So last two questions, and then we'll let Char get off for her evening enjoyment. How do you get exclusive discounts for your lives? So when you do the flash deals, this is something that's always puzzled me as well. I've never been offered them.
Oh, well, if you're going to be an agency, then you'll be able to help your creators out, because you should be able to know about all of this kind of stuff, because it is my agency that sorts it out. Do I know how they do it? No, I don't have a clue, to be honest with you. But yeah, if you're not with an agent already, then if you would like to get into lives seriously, and you would like some live exclusive prices, you would like some flash deals, then your agency should be able to help you achieve that. Or if you work closely with a brand already, providing they know what you're talking about, you could reach out to them directly and say, hey, I really like promoting your products. Any chance of a flash deal for my live stream? And they'll either say, yeah, we know all about it, we'll set some up for you, or they'll say, we have no clue what you're talking about. Because I did that a little bit. I went and reached out to some companies directly. I went, do you know about this flash deal tool on TikTok? Can you sort me out? And they were like, we've got flash deals running already. So they had no idea what it was about. But I think they'll start to learn a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's more and more brands are waking up to the power of TikTok, and the kind of diversifying off just Amazon. Okie doke. So last question from Sophie: what happens if you go on holiday and you can't post? With that consistency point, I guess.
So I have all my videos ready to post whilst I'm on holiday. So the last time I went on holiday was August. It was one of my best months last year. And what I did is I spent a whole day. I recorded about 50 to 60 videos. Can't remember the exact number. I attached all the product links to it. I typed all the captions out. It took ages. But then when I was on holiday, because the product was already linked, the video was there to go, I literally just pressed post and then went about my holiday. And that's what you guys should do. If you're ever taking a long break and you want to stay consistent, batch record all of your content in advance. Yes, okay, some deals might come up whilst you're on holiday. Boo-hoo. You're just going to have to either, record whilst you're on holiday, which, I wouldn't recommend. Enjoy your holiday. It's the only break you get. Or just be really, really organized and just do a bit in advance. That's what I do every single time. And I would recommend it because, I still did really well when I was away on holiday for 2 whole weeks in August, and I still did brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, Char, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. I've really, really enjoyed learning about your story and your top tricks and tips. And I can see the comments already coming through now, just thanking you. So, like I said, everybody, please do give Char's a follow on her TikTok. Let's get her to that 200,000 mark. And if it's okay with you, Charles, I'll put this on YouTube as well, so we can get an even bigger audience. But massive congratulations for that 1 million award. I can see it behind you, and I know how amazing it must have eventually felt to get it in your hands. So huge congrats, and I can't wait to see how 2025 Black Friday goes and onwards. So thank you.
Hopefully it goes well for everybody. Thank you so much for having me, and it was so nice to speak to you. And yeah, thanks for all the questions as well. I really love questions. So I hope I answered them as best as I possibly could. I hope it's helped someone in some way. So yeah, best of luck to everyone. And thank you again.
Just in case you can't see these, so we've got great watch, you're a star, this was so interesting, awesome. So for those of you watching that may have come late, it's going to be uploaded to the member zone tomorrow. And Charles as well is a creator that I've seen answering questions in comments and things. So I'm hoping I'm not landing you in anything here, Charles, but feel free to interact and boost her videos for the algorithm and get any more questions answered. So on that note, thank you everybody for attending, and any questions, please route them through to the Discord. Otherwise, have a great evening. Thanks everyone. See ya.